Good evening, Lizzie boys, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're doing yet another LIZZIE'S board vlog because I feel like it. So, without further ado, let's get into doing stuff that we do when we're bored. So, I don't know if you guys know this, I haven't really been talking about it that much, but I recently thrifted a Felicia at the flea market in the box. And since that happened, I've just kind of been thinking about my other thrift finds. Like, just in the sense that I've been thrifting for years. I want to say I started, like, going to the flea market on the regular. I want to say it was, like, 2017 when I started going to the flea market all the time. I'm actually not 100% sure. I just know that it was a long time ago. And one of my first thrift finds ever was my basic Nephra. And then, like, the next week I found Scara. So that just kind of cemented that I needed to start going to the flea market every single weekend, and I have done that, except for when I go on vacation and physically cannot go to the flea market. Not very common, by the way. I'm basically always able to go to the flea market unless it's raining, and then it's not open. But over the years, I've had so many flea market finds that I thought it could be fun in this video to just kind of like look through my collection and reminisce about what and what isn't a flea market find from my collection. So, let's get to yapping. Immediately, one of my thrift finds was this Chloe. I'm not sure what she is. I think she's like one of the bedroom dolls, but I just think she was super cute. This was how the seller had her dressed, and I've just kind of kept her in that outfit. Another one that was a flea market find was my class Chloe, or back to school Chloe, whichever one you would prefer to call her. This one was completely nude when I got her, but then I bought a lot that had all of the second outfit pieces in it, so I was able to dress her in those. Because I have one up here, complete and wearing the first outfit that I also got from the lot. I did not just chuck my Chloe at the floor, that didn't happen. I thrifted this Wildlife Safari Yasmin as well. I should mention I'm specifically talking about flea market finds in this video, so when I say thrifted in this sense, I do mean from the flea market. None of this shelf was from the flea market. Literally none of it. Yeah, none of these ones. I think I did actually thrift one of my twins' Roxy's, but not this one. This one a friend sold to me. Oh, I did thrift this baby's Roxy from the flea market recently. I need a dust here. I have found several sets of Roxy and Phoebe at the flea market. I think this Roxy in particular is from the flea market, and this Phoebe, I believe, was from a Facebook market lot, so she doesn't count, but Roxy does. My Wildlife Safari Megan was another flea market find of mine. One of my first Bratz finds ever, actually. She had a huge stain in the middle of her forehead, and for that reason, the seller gave her to me for free. I was just like, oh man, she's got a stain. And he's like, oh, you can have her. And I was like, seriously? So she was free. She is basically complete. She just doesn't have her hat. This was like my first Megan. I really like her, actually. These two were also flea market finds. Both bought from the same vendor. This one was hype because she's a different makeup variant to the one that I already had. She's got darker eye makeup and lighter lipstick. This G2 Frankie was also a flea market find. These three Tokyo Go-Go dolls, Yasmin, Fiona, and Chloe, were all flea market finds as well, and they came with all of these pieces that they're wearing, except for Yasmin's skirt. I don't think she came with that. But, like, these three were in remarkably good condition. I just had to, like, wash their hair and stuff. They had all their stuff, though. Same lot as the Megan, as the Wildlife Safari Megan. Getting on to some of my Monster High finds, you know, obviously Scara and Hoodooed. That's like the one that I'm constantly talking about, so I don't want to talk y'all's ears off about them again. But to give a basic rundown, Scara was just kind of there. I just saw her laying down, I grabbed her, and I started freaking out because she was just so cool. I couldn't believe I was seeing her with my own eyes. She was $7. And Hoodooed was $5. I found him a year later. I had kind of just resigned to, like, myself that, oh, I wasn't going to have Hoodooed. I was just going to have Scara. So I was looking at prices for him on eBay. I didn't want to pay $100 for him. A year later, they go back to the same vendor, and Hoodooed is there. I don't know how I found them a year apart from each other, but that was pretty crazy. My Scaris Rochelle is a pretty recent thrift find of mine, but I do have one of her in the box that I also thrifted at the flea market as well. I just can't dig her out of there because she's stuck behind a lot of stuff. She's buried deep in the closet. I can't pull her out for you guys. I also got this Wedona at the flea market. She's not the Comic-Con one. I put her in the Comic-Con outfit, but, you know, it's I Heart Fashion. But still, a cool thrift find. I have flea marketed most of my Ever After High duplicates. Like, I found her, like my Faded Eyebrows Raven at the flea market, and I found my extra Lizzie at the flea market. What the fuck? Why do I have 3 Lizzies? I forgot I had that many. I want to say they're both from the flea market. I don't really buy Ever After High dolls online. They're kind of just an if I find them at this flea market kind of thing. Yeah. This Blondie Locks was also a flea market find. Once again, different faces. I get them because of the face variants. This Cerise was also a flea market find, I'm pretty sure. Apple was not. My mom just kind of bought her online and gave her to me. I have also found several of my favorite character at the flea market over the years. I'd say that's where most of my duplicates come from, honestly. Like, my duplicate of Fierce Rockers was a flea market find. My second ever basic Toralei here, flea market find, I paid like $5 for. She's complete, just missing her tail. I have a couple duplicates of like just every Toralei doll in general. The only ones I don't have any duplicates of at all are like, I don't have a duplicate of Garden Ghouls as much as I would like one. But yeah, I have like tons of Toralei duplicates I've gotten from the flea market. For example, this one, she was from the flea market. And so is the one in the Bratz outfit here. She was also a flea market find, but obviously she's redressed. But she's in good shape, so I'm not complaining. I have flea market finds on this shelf, but they are deep, deep in the shelf. Behind Vampire Heart, my Shriek Wreck Draculaura was a flea market find. In the back, we have the Scream and Sugar Amanita. Another flea market find. She was just missing a hand, and thankfully somebody was able to give me that hand that I needed. My Fear Leading Draculaura, also a flea market find, a very early one of mine. And on this shelf, the only flea market find I can immediately spot is my Ghouls Rule Draculaura. Got her at the flea market, new in box, and I unboxed her. My Marisol, if you guys can see her, it's kind of dark over here. I need a light. Yeah, there, now you can see Marisol. Marisol was a flea market find. I got her, like, once again, missing some stuff, but I pieced her together from another flea market find. Oh, and there's also my Dot Dead Gorgeous 3-pack in here somewhere with Abby and Ghoulia and Draculaura. I got those ones new in the box at the flea market, so that's a pretty old flea market find of mine as well. And of course there's my Dawn of the Dance dolls. Most of them, some of them are flea market finds. Draculaura, Claudine, and Cleo specifically are all dolls that I got at the flea market. Laguna, Frankie, and Ghoulia were all acquired elsewhere through either eBay or Facebook Market, but these 3 will always stick out to me as being my flea market finds. Especially Draculaura. She was missing a shoe for several years before I finally got it. One of my most recent flea market finds is my giant Elizabeth. She's just missing her earrings and her bracelet. And I paid like $60 for her. It was a bit much for the flea market, but I mean, way cheaper than she goes for online. And even the little Elizabeth that she's holding wearing the Abby outfit was also a flea market find, so I'm just kind of good at finding Elizabeth at the flea market, it seems. I don't think I need to remind you guys about Felicia. I just keep mentioning her like every chance I get, but this was the most surreal flea market find I've ever had. This was literally like a dream I've had before. You know, like when you get really into doll collecting, and I think it's safe to say that I'm very into doll collecting, but when you get like really into it, you start to have like dreams sometimes where it's like, oh, I had a dream that I went to the flea market and I found this, or I went to a store and I found this. I have definitely dreamed about finding a Felicia at my flea market before. I think everybody's had like a dream like that before where they go and find something really cheap. I got to live that fantasy out. Why was she at my flea market and why was she $3? I don't know how I did it. I don't know. I don't know how I got so lucky. But yeah, every time I look at this doll, I just kind of gotta sit with myself in disbelief that this happened. It's like still not fully set in for me yet, you know? Just like every time I see her, I'm just reminded that I got insanely lucky, you know? Do I have any flea market finds up here? I definitely do, but I can't see them immediately. Are any of you flea market finds? No. Yeah, no, literally nothing up here was a flea market find. Thrift store at best. Like my Elizabeth was from the thrift store. I got her new in the box and I opened her. I kind of regret it. I've also got my Hayden Williams Yasmin in there. I got her at the flea market for $1. She's very incomplete, but I mean, she was $1, so that was cool. I had lots of inbox finds, like my Claudine here. I know she's damaged, but I paid $15 for her back in like 2022, I want to say it was, like start of the year. I've noticed at the start of the year, I tend to have a really big thrift find recently. Like in 2022, it was Claudine. In 2023, it was this one vendor who just kept showing up with tons and tons of dolls. So that was just like everything I got from her. So 2022, Claudine. 2023 was everything I got from a single vendor. Tons and tons of dolls. I got so much stuff from that woman. 2024 was Roxy and Phoebe. I found them at a thrift store for $15. And then this year was Felicia. I don't know what's going to happen next, and at this point I'm scared. I got this inbox Yasmin at the flea market. The past weekend, I got this Liana. Her name's Liana. I got Liana at the flea market as well. I got this Bratz World playset. It's Yasmin's bedroom. I got this a couple years ago. She's brand new in the box. The box is mildly damaged, but she's brand new and sealed in there, so still a pretty cool find if you ask me. I bought this on eBay. Mercari. This was not a flea market find. I wish it was. I wish I could find a flea market Toralei in the box. I've found several Toralei's at the flea market. Over here, I have my frightfully tall Draculaura, who I got at the flea market for like $15, brand new in box. This was like before they went up in value, but I just never unboxed her. I kind of wish I did, but I'm also glad I didn't, because like the big packaging is kind of fun. And I also got this Nefra at the flea market recently. She wasn't super cheap, but I'm still happy that I found her. There's definitely other flea market finds of mine around here somewhere, but again, they're just kind of hard to get to because everything is put away. But overall, I think I've covered my most major flea market finds. Obviously, I have others. Got several others that I totally forgot to mention in this video, but yeah, those are like the main ones that are pretty cool. I've definitely had others. A lot of my collection is thrifted, either from the flea market, thrift stores, eBay. eBay prices used to be really good. Especially Mercari. Like, just secondhand prices in general used to be amazing. Now they're very high. I actually got these two hand-painted customs at the flea market from that vendor I mentioned from 2023. I never figured out who the artist is. It's been years, and I still don't know who made these. Trust me, I've looked. I've posted about it. I've asked for help identifying them. But to this day, I don't know who the artist behind these two was. Camera won't stop filming. She was a flea market find as well. And I think my Rochelle was too. Yeah, it took me years to get one that was actually like in complete condition. Not a thrift find, not a thrift find. I think you were a thrift find. You were definitely a flea market find. And Gulia was definitely a flea market find. She was funny because I thrifted her so many times, incomplete each time, and then one day I just decided to keep one and put everything I had on her, because I had to get rid of the others I had. I found out that I had her shoes, and her glasses, and her headband, just all kind of in storage for some reason, and I don't know where they came from. I also got these two at the flea market. Same one, actually, and just a long while apart from each other. I think I got this one... No, I definitely got this Briar after Jay left. I don't know why I was about to say. I think I got this one when Jay was here, because that's not true. I got this Briar after Jay left. I've even had some good My Little Pony finds at the flea market, because like a week or two ago, I found Octavia, who goes for like $50 for some reason, and Minty at the flea market at the same day. I want you to know that I paid $1 for all three of these ponies. The seller was selling them to me for $1, so I got like deal of a lifetime, and I'm keeping all of them. They're all mine, forever and ever. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I think I've yapped enough. So, I guess in the comments, feel free to let me know what your greatest flea market find of all time was, and if you don't go flea marketing, then tell me your greatest thrift store find, because in this video, I wasn't really focusing on the stuff I found at thrift stores. I was trying more so to focus on flea market stuff in particular. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!